Strange as it sounds, some politicians in South Korea seem to have it out for gaming. They want gaming to be categorized in the same way we might categorize addictions to alcohol. And there have been some problems with the shutdown law in South Korea.
Yeah, I want to start with that. I want to start with the shutdown law because in 2011, South Korea passed a law that says children under the age of 16 cannot play games between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. That is illegal for people under the age of 16 to play video games online or on a computer because they can't really police mobile games and consoles. That, like, you need to register with your social security number to play an online computer game between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. And it's illegal to do so if you're under 16.
That is insane.
The country's already dealing with that.
That is unthinkable to me that they would go so far to restrict it.
That said, although I think that law is completely unfair and unfounded, video game addiction and online addiction is a real thing. That's a real thing.
I don't know if I agree with that personally, but if it is a real thing, then that's if it's categorized that way by groups, then I can't really argue that it doesn't exist.
I think there are people that have unhealthy addictions.
There are people with unhealthy addictions to shopping or eating or everyday things. Does gaming really need to be categorized in such a way with like drugs and alcohol?
No, I don't think it's necessary. It needs to be spoken in the same breath, but I don't think it's a problem that should be outright ignored, especially in a country where it's such a large pastime, such a prevalent activity. You know, I mean, you read stories every couple of months about somebody not eating or sleeping and dying, like with RuneScape on the computer in front of them. Like, that's a thing that happens in South Korea, so you can't really ignore it as a whole. I don't think you need to, like, crack down on it with, like, a military-type state with this shutdown law, but I don't think you can ignore it.
Okay, maybe there's a solution somewhere in the middle between complete totalitarian control and nothing. But right now, there's this bill right now for stricter regulations in South Korea. It hasn't passed, but the country's conservative Saenuri party keeps pushing it, so it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm concerned. Well, what I don't understand is I don't see the American politician angle on this yet.
The American politician angle on policing games is more to do with gun violence.
Well, no. What I mean is, whenever we read about these stories that happen in America, it's obvious that there's some financial gain for some large corporation or company or conglomerate or senator or whatever, that's really the motivation behind getting this law passed. Reading this article makes me think that, like, some people in South Korea have a real problem with this, and they need some sort of, legislation on the books, or else it'll go out of control. I don't see the angle yet. I don't see what corporation is going to make money off this. And in fact, I think a lot of companies will lose money off this, especially, with the esports as big as it is in South Korea. You would think that people would not have a financial stake in this sort of legislation.
Well, I disagree with this categorization of games being in the same level as drugs and alcohol and the shutdown. Yes, it may be a problem, but I don't know if this is the way. I do know this is not the way to handle it. What do you think? How should this problem be handled, and is it being handled the right way? Have things gotten out of control, or are they not in control enough? Please let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more.